Imagine arriving at a holy site where the very first requirement is to strip away your physical protection. You take off your shoes, step inside, and walk barefoot onto the cold stone floor. Then you look down. You are standing among more than 25,000 rats. Anywhere else in the world, this triggers immediate panic. Pest control is called, traps are set. But here, those instincts do not exist. These animals are actively guarded. They receive daily offerings of milk, grains, and sweets, provided by a community that treats their presence as a sacred necessity. It forces an immediate question. Would you walk barefoot through this room? The answer divides standard survival logic from absolute devotion. To reach this place, you have to travel deep into the harsh environment of the Thar Desert in Rajasthan, India, to a town called Deshnok. Despite its geographic isolation, the Karni Mata Temple is never empty. Every single day, thousands of people make the journey here, seeking out this environment. There is zero physical separation. Visitors sit on the ground, allowing the animals to graze against a hand as they drink from communal bowls. Normal biological boundaries are completely suspended here. To understand how an entire community unlearned the deep-seated fear of rodents, we have to look at how this tradition started. Historical records verify that in the 15th century, a woman named Karni Mata lived in this region. She was a documented spiritual teacher who advised local rulers and gathered a massive following. Over the centuries, local kings poured massive wealth into memorializing her, constructing heavy silver doors and carving intricate marble facades to honor her exact location. But the core of her legacy is tied to human souls. The tradition dictates that the rats living within these specific temple walls are not actually animals. They are the souls of Karni Mata's family members and her most dedicated followers. It operates as a closed loop of reincarnation. When a human devotee dies, they are reborn into the temple as a rat. When a rat reaches the end of its life, it is reborn as a human within the community. Under this framework, visitors are looking at their ancestors. They are looking at the future of their children. This theological loop logically transforms a dreaded pest into a deeply respected family member. Yet, if you watch the crowds closely, they aren't just observing the animals on the floor. They are actively hunting the shadows for something specific. Hidden among the dark-coated masses is a striking genetic anomaly. A handful of the temple rats are entirely white. These few albinos carry the heaviest spiritual weight. While the black rats are the followers, the white rats are believed to be the physical manifestations of Karni Mata herself or her immediate sons. This detail shifts the physical dynamics inside the sanctuary. Pilgrims will spend hours scanning the dark corners and waiting quietly by the feeding bowls, desperate to catch even a brief glimpse of a white coat. It turns a general visit into a specific pursuit of a sign. Even within a sanctuary where every creature is equal, humans still search for the rarest anomaly to prove they have received a personal blessing. For anyone outside this belief system, thousands of animals packed into an enclosed space points to an obvious, terrifying threat: disease. Rodents are well-documented vectors for the plague. Yet, in the hundreds of years this temple has operated, with thousands of barefoot visitors arriving daily, there is no historical record of a mass outbreak originating from these walls. This track record is pushed to its absolute limit during daily rituals. Devotees routinely consume sweets and milk from the exact bowls the animals have just eaten from, considering the nibbled food to be exceptionally holy. Modern germ theory argues this should guarantee severe bacterial transfer, but the pilgrims operate with complete certainty that they are physically protected within this space. The fact that they do not get sick reinforces the cycle. To the community, the absence of illness is not biological luck. It is empirical, undeniable proof that Karni Mata is keeping them safe. Step outside the temple walls and you realize the macro scale of time this tradition has survived. Over the last 600 years, the region of Rajasthan has seen shifting empires, the arrival of colonial powers, and intense modernization campaigns sweep through the surrounding cities. Royal dynasties collapsed, geopolitical borders were redrawn, yet the daily feeding and protection of these 25,000 rats never stopped for a single day. It hasn't been preserved by standing armies or legal mandates. It survives strictly through voluntary acts of devotion by people dropping to the floor and bowing to the creatures at their feet. Military force cracks under pressure over time, but a practice anchored entirely in communal faith and shared identity proves far more difficult to erase. The thousands of animals at Deshnok represent a choice in perspective. This location provides a physical demonstration of what happens when a culture erases the rigid lines between human life, death, and the animal kingdom. Strip away the initial reaction of disgust, and what remains is a community that has spent 6 centuries practicing radical empathy for a creature the rest of the planet actively destroys. The traditions that look the most unbelievable from the outside make perfect, unbroken logic once you sit down and listen to the history behind them. If you enjoyed exploring this mystery, hit the like button and subscribe to Untold Indian Stories. Every week, we dig into the anomalies, the history, and the truths that challenge what we think we know. Keep questioning the impossible.